Good morning, everyone. This is JR from Stone River Nursery. Well, we finally made it to spring. It's bittersweet for me because I like the cooler temperatures we get during winter time. But with spring, we look forward to the new growth in our plants. So I wanted to share with you guys what's happening in our garden right now and give you an update of some of the things that we endured during the winter season. So join me and let's have a look. Let's begin our tour by showing you this first raised bed of apple trees. Over here we have an emerging bloom cluster of a variety of apple known as Surprise. It's a red flesh apple, very delicious. Over here we have some buds for our white winter pearmain apple, which is a reliable producer every year. As we move over here, we have more apples, but they're not really awake just yet. Hopefully with the rains we're expecting this week and a little fertilizer action, we'll have these growing out in no time. In this space next to our elder tree, we lost a pitanga and a miracle fruit due to the cold front that happened in the earlier part of February. But with that type of failure comes new opportunity because we have other plants that we could replace, and hopefully those will be hardier. So if we have another cold snap next season, we will not have any heartache because what we will plant there will be suitable enough to sustain the cold. Here we have another cluster of apple trees. And as you can see over here, spring has already sprung. This bloom cluster belongs to a variety of apple known as Cox's Orange Pippin, and it's the most famous dessert apple in England. So if you have a chance to grow this variety, you will not be sorry. The apple is absolutely fantastic. It's almost reminiscent of fruit punch, and it combines citrusy overtones. So it confuses you because you think, oh, is this really an apple? No, this is something else. If you have watched some of our previous videos, you may have been keeping track of what's going on with our mango cluster. This past weekend, I was mowing the lawn, trying to organize the backyard, and I was looking at the mangoes and they didn't look so great. So I decided, you know what? I'm just gonna chop them down, I'm gonna give up, and I'm gonna plant something new. But as I was trying to lift that frame, that raised bed frame, and I approach the mango here on this side, oh, look at there. See, we got some new growth happening. So the mangoes are still alive. So I'm gonna give them a little bit of time to see what's going on. Maybe with a little bit of rain and a little bit more of TLC, they can sprout, and hopefully we can get that new structure for the next few years. I know this winter was really hard on many tropicals like mangoes and avocados, but sometimes a little patience is all it takes. So let's see how things develop. Moving forward to our next raised bed of apples, here we have a coconut crunch, we have Melacarla, black strawberry, which is a variety developed by a friend of mine, Stephen Edholm from California. It's a red flesh apple. And then we have pumpkin russet. There are some bloom clusters that might be emerging in the next few days. So that's pretty cool. And then we move on to our raised bed of peaches and nectarines. What's special about this tree is that it's grafted to a plum rootstock, and then it uses a bridge to connect between the plum rootstock and the peach variety that I grew. So if I were to plant this tree in the ground, especially when it's heavy soil, it will do just fine. If I did that with a traditional peach rootstock, the tree would actually decay and die with the onset of the rainy season. So we are always trying to think how we can circumvent the problems that we have in our landscape and thinking about possible solutions. If you don't have the ability to change the rootstock, then you can do what I'm showing you right here, which is planting your trees in a raised bed. So that will improve the drainage, and you can see these trees are beautiful. They survive the cold just fine. And there's also an argument to be made, because if you plant more of these trees that are not tropical, even when you have a cold snap, they should do just fine, survive the winter, and then with the onset of spring, warmer temperatures, the rainy season, they develop this beautiful foliage, and then the fruit will be just fantastic at the end of May, beginning of June. We have a peach tree. It has a few blooms over here, so looking nice. This is a Sun Home nectarine. It's got a couple of flowers here and there. It almost looks like a variety from California known as Spice Z Nectar Plum, but it's a nectarine. Here in the back, we have the Sun Racer, and it's got a couple of nice bloom clusters here and there. And then here in the back, we got a Desert Delight nectarine that's about to provide us with some nice blooms. Here we got a Dapple Supreme Pluot. This is one of the Pluot varieties that doesn't require high chill to produce in warm climates. It's rated about 300 hours, but I know we didn't get anywhere near that. And even in years when we don't get as close to what we got, it always produces nice flowers. So definitely a variety to consider for Central Florida. Then over here we got a cluster of a Burgundy Plum, a Candy Heart Pluery, and a Sweet Treat Pluery. So these are giving us some nice flowers, although earlier years have been more floriferous than this year, even though we got some cold. It's kind of weird. There are a lot of buds that are about to open flowers near the tips. So we'll see how that goes in the next week or week and a half. And then over here in the back, we got an Emerald Drop Pluot. There we go. Got some nice buds over here. So not quite in full bloom just yet, but when these are in full bloom, they are fantastic, really beautiful. And the smell is so great. Not to mention the fruit. That is really, really nice and unusual for this area of the country. In this section, we can see a King David apple tree, and it's still dormant, so nothing major happening just yet. In the corner, we have a 3-in-1 planting of red flesh apples. So the varieties are Red Devil, Devil Permain, and Wine Kissed. Then moving over here, we can see that there is a Jaboticaba, and I thought that the cold killed it, but it's actually doing pretty well, even though it's never giving us any fruit. It looks to be in good shape. It's growing nicely, so we'll see what happens as the year progresses. In this other section of our backyard, we can see we have a raised bed of apples. So there's a theme happening here, right? This variety here in the corner is a seedling that I grew from a Cox's Orange Pippin seed, and it looked to be really nice and vigorous. It has lots of spur wood, so hopefully we can get some fruit this year, if not the next year. Then over here we have a Pink Parfait apple, a Rubinette with one hanging apple. It's still hanging on. This one survived the cold very well. The other ones, they were fine after the first cold night, but when we had that second cold night, many of them started to get mushy and it didn't do well. They actually fell to the ground and rotted. But this one is hanging on just fine. It's nice, and we will be able to eat it probably in the next 3 to 4 weeks. Then we have a Gold Rush apple, Kids Orange Red, and another variety that was developed by my friend Stephen Edholm that's known as Cherry Crush. This is a pink flesh apple, and it's very nice, very sweet. So hopefully we'll get some blooms later this year. Here, embracing my mad scientist side, I have a living laboratory, so I like to experiment with different varieties. And then many of these are my seedlings, but I also have some other stuff that's grafted on different rootstocks. Some stuff more successful than others. And over here, I had to sort of like adapt and create a section where I have to put stuff away from the ground, because I have a puppy who is almost a year old, and he will sometimes ravage the plants when I'm not looking, and all of that work basically goes to waste. I want to approach this one over here because this is a 3-in-1. So 3 varieties grafted on the same rootstock, and they are Tiger Bend, Brushy Mountain Limber Twig, and Reverend Morgan. If I get up close over here, we can see that one of them, the Brushy Mountain Limber Twig, has some blooms that are about to pop, which is pretty awesome considering that I just grafted those scions a few weeks ago to one individual rootstock. So this is a 3-in-1 tree and eliminates problems of pollination. So if you're thinking, wow, I need 2 or more apple trees in order to get fruit from my trees, when you do this type of setup, you're actually good with just the one tree because they will pollinate each other. In this other section over here, we have more of the Mad Lab thing happening, but with stone fruits. So I have different varieties of, say, apricots, nectarines, peaches. Some of them I grafted myself, others I bought. I also have ornamentals, like for example, this Bluriana plum, which is very rare for this area. I have a Taiwan cherry that I grafted using an inner stem system. Then I have a Double Delight nectarine, Saturn peach, Scarlet Beauty plum, lots of different stuff. So yes, it's like some people might be thinking, you got a problem with plants, right? I actually have a shirt that my wife gifted to me a few years ago, and it's one of my favorite shirts that says, it's not hoarding if it's plants, right? And sometimes I will wear it to like the theme parks and things like that, and people stop me and say, I love your shirt. And finally, we have this section of recently grafted apple trees. These are going to become available for sale. I have varieties that are typical for the area, like Anna and Dorset Golden, but I also have other ones that are not as common, like Shell of Alabama, Gold Rush, Pixie Crunch. Make sure to contact us at Stone River Nursery, and I will be more than happy to give you some more information. Now, some of you might be wondering, why would I buy an apple tree from you when I can get one apple tree at the big box store? Well, we graft our trees using a special rootstock that's called Geneva 890, which is good for heavy soils. It also produces a very sturdy tree when you plant it in the ground. Although right now they look like Charlie Brown Christmas trees, these guys can grow anywhere between 5 to 7 feet the very first year after planting. And they produce fruit typically 2 to 3 years after putting them in the ground. As we conclude this quick tour, I want to thank you for joining us, taking an interest in what we're doing. And spring has just begun. So we have plenty of more videos throughout the year that we're planning on making and sharing with you guys. But if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us at Stone River Nursery. The information is right here if you want to get apple trees from us. And sometimes we sell some stone fruit trees. Make sure to reach out to us. We'll give you all the info you need. And have a happy spring season and happy growing. Take care. We'll see you next time.